Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wrestling 1919. Another video today. I'm getting more regular with these as the days go on because there's more and more information coming out of the club. Whether we like it, don't like it, get annoyed with it, take it at face value, or just downright believe that the club are lying to us. And I'm touching a few things today from that Robbie Evans interview that he gave to the YEP and The Athletic. They were posted yesterday, the 3rd of September. There's going to be a few key points that I'm going to touch on. I have a few notes just beside me here, so if you see me glancing, that's what I'm doing. Basically, we've seen this is hopefully not going to be that long. I really don't want to keep people too long on these videos anymore because I don't want it to turn into a rant. Long and short of it is, we've seen an awful lot of fan reaction to these interviews that he's given, and it's not good. The fan reaction's been abysmal. Perfectly within our rights as well, because personally I think he's just talking the biggest load of tripe. They're gaslighting us to the highest end. But listen, whenever he's turning around, he's saying it's a bad day, but a good window. I understand a wee bit what he means by that. Very good start to the window, very good signings. I've touched on all the previous signings. I'm not going to go through them all again. Very happy with the actual signings that we made. However, as the window went on, it just became an absolute shambles and a debacle. So it was a disappointing day towards the end of the window. No, it was an absolute shambles, an embarrassment to the club, an embarrassment to the fans, a letdown to Daniel Varga, and it's an absolute disgrace that we're being led by such an amateurish group. When you can tell me somebody in that boardroom who is of Premier League quality, who's got vast amount of Premier League experience, anybody on the transfer team who's got any Premier League experience in heading up a transfer deadline day, then I'll believe what you're telling me. But whenever you're telling me that Robbie Evans and Adam Underwood, these people are heading up our transfers, I've got zero faith in any of these people. It just annoys me. We signed 10 players, 100 million. They say we secured our top targets. If they're our top targets and we've signed them before the season began, and they're happy with how things have worked, and they emphasise that we maxed out our spending under profitability and sustainability rules, PSR. Tell me why we're going in for Pizza at 40 million. Tell me why we're putting in bids of 30 odd million for Rodrigo Muniz. Tell me why we're in Sky a week before the window finishes, and our CEO, Parag Maratha, is on Sky the week before the window closes, and he is telling Sky and everybody else that we're going to spend all the money we can, and we know it's going to be a busy end of the window. It's always a busy end of the window. The only dealings we did after that information came out was Patrick Bamford left, number one, for nothing. He just left the club. We paid him off, so we owed him 3.8 million in his contract. So whatever we paid him, that's money out of the coffers. Darko Gyabi went to Hull, touched that yesterday for nothing. Who is doing this business? If we're sailing close to PSR, why are we letting people go for free? We let Darko Gyabi go for free to Hull, knowing that we're not getting anything back. Well, we put a sizable sell-on clause in it. That means nothing if he fails. Nothing. The other thing is this: we think that Fulham are as big idiots as we are by going to them and saying on deadline day, tell you what we'll do, we'll loan Harry Wilson, who's in the final year of his deal. But Fulham are lucky the fact that they don't have idiots in charge. Fulham told us where to go. It's clear that we're frustrated. It was a spectacular failure. That's what I can describe it as. Harry Wilson, Buendia, Buenate, Buenanote, loans, all loans, all turned down. Then you look at the more positive people that we're looking at, like the DCLs of the world, Nemecha, and you're looking at the two strikers and the frees. Where's the money? Where's all the money? We went for Pizzo, it fell through. We went for Buonanotte, it fell through. Apparently Wilson, trying to get Wilson across the line wasn't due to a lack of effort, and apparently we put in a bid sheet and it was a straightforward case of the selling club not wanting to complete the deal. I smelled bull. You tell me how a selling club, would sell you a player that they value at 10 million for 7 million. You tell me why we put in a deal sheet and the selling club had no interest in selling. Not only is that lack of experience, it's sheer arrogance on behalf of the 49ers. The 49ers have entered this window like they're some big dogs. Like the Premier League owes them something. The Premier League owes them none. They're nobodies in this game. You got to earn the right to be in the Premier League, and we've earned it by winning the championship. But we're quickly earning the right to get relegated back to the championship by ineptitude. The fans are rightly pissed off because the answers that Robbie Evans gave yesterday, they sounded staged, number one, and number two, they're not short of absolute lies. We can see through bullshit. We've had many, many owners in the past who have done nothing but gaslight us to our faces and lie. We know when we're being lied to and we're being played, and that's exactly what's happening. He said yesterday, unequivocally, we are maxing PSR out this season. He explained that pursuing high-priced targets earlier would have required selling key players from promotion squads such as Ayo Tanaska, Pascal Strike or Joel Perreault. Right, let's touch on that. Number one, Tanaka, we signed for 3 million, so he was not going to go. He was integral. Pascal Strike, again, wasn't going to go. Perreault, we wanted a striker. We brought in 2 because we don't think Perreault's good enough. If you thought Perreault was that good, why are we bringing in 2 strikers to replace him in the Premier League? Because we know he's not good enough. It's as simple as that. He can't play in the 10, he can't play in the 9, and he offers you nothing up front in the Premier League. And I'm not digging out Joel Perreault, I'm digging out the board. Right now, it's about getting behind the players. It's not, and behind Daniel Farke. There is no the PSR, I said yesterday on my video, it's the biggest scam that the 49ers are hiding behind right now. They'll do whatever they can. They're using every tactic under the sun. He mentioned Sunderland spending this, that, and this isn't about Sunderland. Sunderland are doing business. Fair play to Sunderland. They don't care about Leeds. They want to stay in the league. Fair play. And you know what? More power to Sunderland. They've got ambitious owners. They've got an aggressive transfer team. And we've got absolute charlatans and people who are completely inept. Evans said about key players, he highlighted the fact that Leeds avoided selling players like Joel Perreault, Pascal Strike, who are vital to our survival. If Joel Perreault's vital to our survival, I want to touch on the point again, why did we bring in 2 more strikers? If Pascal Strike is so vital to our survival, why did we bring in 2 more centre-backs? Because realistically, Pascal Strike shouldn't be playing. Bijou should. The reality is he's trying to gaslight the fans. And if he's telling us what's he saying to Farke, Raji Ramazani, Matteo Joseph, Patrick Bamford. Evans said about Ramazani leaving to go to Valencia, right? There's no buy option, so we could recall him. Let me say that again. There is no buy option ensuring Leeds can recall him. That means they know they messed up. They know they promised Farka a replacement. They know they failed. They have to call him back because we have no alternative. Our alternative on the right wing to Dan James right now is Brendan Aronson. You've let one of the brightest attacking players in our squad go. We haven't even filled the squad, and we've got 4 goalkeepers in our 25. It's an absolute disgrace. Patrick Bamford, you let him go for nothing. You haven't replaced him with anybody. Surely Bamford could have done a job in the Premier League for us. It makes no sense. Matteo Joseph, attitude, things like that, people can have an opinion on that. That's completely different. I'm not going to get into that right now. But what I will touch on is this. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Evans said that Dominic Calvert-Lewin was a major coup and that he turned down Champions League and all. And that's fine. That's up to... I did hear DCL say that. But Robbie Evans said that we were told we couldn't get him. He's going to the Champions League, or he's going to European football, he's going to a big team in England. Number one, we are a big team, Robbie. We just have small-minded owners with inept people in the transfer committee. And number two, DCL coming in is a definite upgrade if we can keep him fit. 100%. Nobody disputes that. If we can get the man fit, we should do okay with DCL up front. The problem is the gaslighting. You brought in Namacha. As I said, he missed 40% of last season due to injury. He's got a history of injury. DCL over the last 4 years has been riddled with injuries as well. As much as we want these players to do good, they're massive, massive gambles. And you've put all our eggs into the injury basket. You've massively gambled. And we all hope it comes off. But you are totally inept. And you showed that towards the end of the window. But what people can't get behind is the lies. It's the gaslighting. We're never ever going to agree with you. But it's just not going to happen. If you're wanting to sit there and tell lies to our face, you're not a loser. If you think that Calvert-Lewin, Namacha and Perot are going to keep us in the league with no creativity in the midfield, you're deluded. It pisses me off. We have 1 goal this season from a penalty. No creativity, no massively clear-cut chances in the league games. And we don't know where our transfer plans were. What were the transfer plans? What was the plan to bring in a right winger or a 10 or another centre forward that wasn't a perennial injury worry? You stated that you wanted to do the business. Where do you hear this one? Leeds aim to complete their business early to avoid reliance on January transfers as they had done in previous years. He downplayed the free agent market, noting that the pool of available players was small and only a handful met Leeds' quality standards. Bullshit. Number one, you spent nothing last January, so we know for a fact we had money. We know what the money came in last year because we were the highest club in the world of taking money in transfers last season. So you're talking dung. Number one. Number two, Josh Brownhill is a free agent. Ziyech is a free agent. Tomiyasu, free agent. I could go on. There's hundreds of them. These men are worth millions. Josh Brownhill scored 18 goals last season in the Championship. Came second top goal scorer behind Perot. Had 6 assists. Was the captain of Burnley, who happened to have the best defence last season in the Championship. He left on a free. And you think he's not good enough for us. Now, who would he be replacing in a 10 if he played in that role? Brendan Aronson. We don't have 25 men in our squad, and he is saying that a free agent isn't good enough for a place on our 25-man squad, who's worth about 15 to 20 million. It just pisses me off. It's not the failure to sign Wilson. It's not the failure to sign Buonanotte. It's not the failure to sign Pizarro. It's not the failure to sign Muniz. It's not the failure to sign El Canus. It's not the failure to sign any of these quality players. It's the gaslighting and the lies and the bullshit that is spewed continuously by this transfer department. They were quiet for 2 days, hoping that it would die down. Then they turn around and they come out and try to gaslight the life out of us. There's no leadership. There's no experience. Sunderland can close deals. We can't. That's the difference between us and Sunderland, Robbie. It's not the size of the clubs. It's not the 48,000-seater stadium. It's the quality of leadership in the clubs. What really annoys me, what is getting to me is, where's the money? Where's it gone? We don't know. Parag Marathe, you have a lot of questions to answer. If you have employed Adam Underwood and Robbie Evans to do this job and they have failed this spectacularly, why are they still in jobs? Because I'm going to tell you something. The only man that's going to get sacked is Daniel Farke, and you know it. Because, you know what? Shit rolls down the hill. And that man, you're asking him to create a miracle. You're asking him to fight with one arm behind his back. The fans aren't blind. We're not stupid either. We've got Daniel Farke's back, and we will stand beside him. Yes, we'll call him out for tactical errors. Yes, we'll call him out for lineups. Yes, we'll call him out for a myriad of things. But I'm telling you now, you've taken the very tools that he should have and you've thrown them away because of your ego and your arrogance in believing that you knew better than a Fulham or a Leicester. Or you treated Fulham like a lesser club than Leeds United, demanding that we get Harry Wilson, putting in a bid sheet. Disgraceful. You all should be ashamed. Listen, a lot longer than it should have been, but I want to thank you for sticking out this long. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that. We'll see if I have to come on again tomorrow. Thank you.